Hello, everyone. I'm Mark.
I'm Rob.
And welcome to Mark and Rob's Sports Showdown. Our goal is to be the best sports talk show in the world. We haven't accomplished that yet, but we're working on it. We're trying to get better. Your comments help. Just so you know, we got a live show every Monday from 7 to 8 Eastern, everything except major holidays. And if you haven't subscribed yet, we really appreciate it if you do, and hit that notification bell, and feel free to make intelligent, non-insulting comments. And share it with your family and friends so you can help us grow, because we're trying to get the good word out in sports. We're trying to be objective about things and not be a bunch of bobbleheads and talk over each other. And we're not fake personalities either, just so you know. What you're going to get from me is straight up. I swear to God.
Yep, same with me.
And I'm not even religious, and I swear to God. Okay, unfortunately, today we're going to have to talk about race things that I hate talking about. And before I go into it, I want to just give the definition of woke so that people don't misconstrue what I say. And the definition of woke is aware of and actively attentive to important society facts and issues, especially issues of racial and social injustice. That's from Merriam-Webster Dictionary. That's the definition of woke. The definition of woke that the very far right, and I'm not trying to get political here, has distorted that and made woke into something that's bad. When it's not. Everybody should be woke. I'm woke. Doesn't mean don't be extreme about it. That's where the problems come in. So what I do is when a person goes too far in the very far left, I call it overly woke, because I think woke is appropriate. Overly woke is bad because you're not dealing with reality. In order to do things in society properly and get race proper and determine whether or not something is racial or not racial and try to get racial equality, you have to have the proper facts and perspective of something. And if you're overly woke, it's bad. If you're overly PC, you put too much pressure on people to say always the exact right thing. And 80% of the population think they've gone too far with that. And I'm in that 80%. I'm in
that 80% also, yes.
I'm in that 80% where the very far left has gone too far. They're not as bad as the very far right, but they go too far sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's where it becomes overly woke. And that's a problem in our society right now, even though, like I said, I'm not for the far right at all. So I just want to get that. So just so you know, in case you're in the, you're a liberal or something like that, I'm with you on wokeness. Okay. All right. So anyway, what happens is ESPN started out basically all their broadcasters were white males. And that's because they had the experience at the time. And then it gradually added women, they gradually added minorities and stuff like that. And now it's almost like the white males are almost not there. Scott Van Pelt at night, yes, but they got rid of them. They have. I mean, let's be honest about this. The white population is still 60%. Black population is 13%. When you think if that ratio was like that in ESPN, that would not be exactly unfair, since they're 4.5 times the population, or even put Asian or whatever race you want to put in, green people, whatever race, if it's proportionate to the population, that's not exactly unfair. So, but I have no problem them being more than 13% or anything like that. But it seems like they've gone pretty far with it now, and because white males aren't even on there anymore.
Yeah. Well, geez, I mean, you guys are a minority. Welcome to our world. I can't believe it.
Except for like the football commentators, there seem to be a lot of white males on that. But that's all I'd say. So, but the problem is ESPN seems to have an agenda, and I think it goes too far. I think it goes to the overly woke situation. Like I said, I'm all for the woke. And people find it unwatchable because they seem to have an agenda. They have an agenda even with Caitlin Clark. They keep that. I watched things yesterday, and there was like all these interviews with Monica Nutt and Rebecca Lobo, and anybody they can get to, they'll say, oh yeah, no, there's no jealousy of Caitlin Clark. There's no hatred of Caitlin Clark. There's zero going on. This is just all distorted by the media. Now, we all know that's not true.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
It may not be as bad as the far right is saying it is, and it probably isn't, because they're very one-sided in their viewpoint, but it's there. And the jealousy is normal. I gave you 5 examples of why they're jealous of her. I'll repeat them. She gets an insane amount of publicity, insane amount of endorsements. She's white. People say she's great. And also, she's straight. Now, I can't read into people's minds and say how much of the jealousy is 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or a combination of them. I'm not them. But it's fine if you're jealous of her, because I'd be jealous of her too if I was in the WNBA. But that doesn't mean I would hate her. That doesn't mean I would try to give her a super hard foul or dirty play on her just because I'm jealous of her. That's stupid and petty. And so to think that's not going to go on and it's not going on, it's simply not true. I've seen a lot of hard fouls, and then the refs swallow their whistle. And that's another thing. What's the agenda of the refs to not protect her and to give the benefit of the calls to non-Clark people?
Yeah, I mean, the refs seem to be a little. I mean, I don't know if they're just starting out with their game, but they're not on their game really. I mean, they're letting these calls go, and that's not helping the game. You know, it's actually hurting it, and also might eventually hurt one of the players too.
Yeah, I make it quite clear that I think there's more racism against blacks in our society right now, and it still exists. The far right thinks it doesn't exist anymore, which is silly. I'm not just talking about anyone to the right, just like the far right, just so if you're to the right, you don't get insulted by that.
Right.
But it exists, and I think it's an advantage to be a white male in our society and all that. I don't feel guilty about it, but that's what's going on in our society, and there is some racism still. But I just want to make sure that sometimes people say there's racism when there's not, and that doesn't solve anything. That makes it worse.
Yeah, to bring it to the point back to ESPN, when you're saying there's more black announcers and women announcers, I don't think. To me, it's not about a race thing. It's like they're very incompetent. What they're saying doesn't make. You got Perkins. You got you have a black female who's doing NFL analysis. I'm like, wait a minute. What is? I mean, I'm not trying to be. I'm straight. What does a female not playing NFL know about the real NFL?
Here's my feeling about announcers. This has to do with analysis right now.
The last name is Martin.
Okay. Have to do with analysis right now. Oh. If it's a WNBA game, I don't want to see a guy doing the color analysis. I don't care if he does the play-by-play like Ryan Rocco, who's good. I want to see an ex-NBA player, an ex-NBA coach, because they know the WNBA game better than a guy does. That's what I want to see. Same thing when I watch the NBA. I want to see an ex-NBA player or an ex-NBA coach who knows more about the NBA than I do, so I can learn from them and do a better analysis. I don't want to see Doris Burke doing the NBA Finals. I don't think she's good enough. And it's because she didn't play in the NBA, not because she's not smart, not because she's not a good basketball analyst, because she's not as good as the NBA players who played. And that she's going to be doing the NBA Finals. And a lot of people aren't happy about that because she's not a great NBA analyst. Her favorite word, she just says elite all the time. Elite, elite, elite. Okay, so that's what I'm saying is I think and ABC, which and ESPN are the same company, are overly woke by putting her on. And I don't think it's appropriate. And I'm saying it's the same thing for the WNBA. Rebecca Lobo, even though I don't respect her anymore, I'll get to that. Someone like her should be doing WNBA games for color analysis, not some guy who didn't play the NBA. So I'm being fair about this. I'm not being sexist. Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
Right. The young woman's name is Kimberly Martin. That's who I can't really.
Kimberly Martin. Yeah, she's doing football.
I gave her a chance. I gave her a chance because I said, okay, let's see what she knows about the NFL, the game. And I'm sorry, she doesn't really know that much about it.
Yeah, and I know. It's unbelievable. I saw the excerpts where she said that Denver has never been able to solve their quarterback problems with trades and with John Elway. And John Elway got Peyton Manning. They won a Super Bowl because of that. So stop it. That's a dumb analysis. I saw one excerpt from her, and I said she shouldn't be doing football. Okay, but I want to see ex-NFL players and coaches analyze football. That's all. That's me. I don't care about play-by-play. If the woman's good at play-by-play, she can do a football game. I don't care.
Right.
That's not what I'm going to say. I want to see someone who knows more than I do about football. Someone who played the game. Someone who knows more about the league than I do. Right.
No matter if they play Division III, Division II, Division I, Pro, at least they know something about the game. But if you're just going to come in there as a woman and do analysis about NFL, you've never been on the field, hit or the grind. You don't know it. I mean, you can just look and see, but you don't know anything what it's like to be in there.
I'm looking forward to Tom Brady. Even though I don't like Tom Brady, I'm looking forward to Tom Brady. I think he's the greatest quarterback of all time, but I don't like him. I'm looking forward to him doing analysis. I know he's a smart guy. I know he's a smart football player, and I know he knows the game inside and out, and he's a quarterback. Quarterbacks know the game better than their best because they're forced to. That's why Tony Romo is such a good analyst. Some people don't like him. You might not like his personality, but he says things that nobody else has said in the history of sports analysis. Doesn't mean he's the best ever, but he's unique. And
Yeah,
like I said, you might not like his personality, you might talk too much or whatever, but he gets involved and he's really good when it comes down to like a 2-minute situation and things like that, or third down plays. He seems to know the game. Why? Because he played the game. Okay.
So I mean, I think with the ESPN, in order to like to go back to your point with the race, I think in order to, so I guess so-called please the population now that we're getting more diverse population, they figured, okay, we got to have more input with minorities, more blacks, or Spanish, more women, and that'll bring in more people. But you can do that, but make sure you bring them in that they know what they're talking about. I mean, it seems like I mean, I miss the white announcers. They knew they did research, and they talked about what the game was. I knew I was more interested. It seems like now they just like you said, like the person said, the bobbleheads are just out there to get names or just to say stuff.
I just want them to hire who's best. Right. Who's the best. That's what I hire, not based on race or sex or anything like that. And I find it hard to believe that there's no good white sports announcer anymore that ESPN can hire. That's just all I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for diversity. No problem. Yeah, but I have a feeling that's not what's happening. And it was unfair in the past. Don't get me wrong. You know, now it's unfair this way, but it was really unfair in the past because all they had was white males. But to be fair, like they were the ones that had the experience and they were better. But now there's a lot of blacks and women that have been in sports announcing, and they're good at it too. And they should get jobs.
Right.
Just not necessarily all of the jobs at ESPN.
Right. Right.
That's all I'm saying. I know there's white announcers there still. I'm just saying, you know, percentage-wise, it seems slow to me at this point. And I find it, you know, and if they're not good, then I find it unwatchable. I don't think SportsCenter is as good as it used to be. I don't watch SportsCenter anymore. I will say that Pardon the Interruption is the best thing about ESPN. Yes. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why I love it. Number one, they're both highly intelligent. No, number two, they're both objective. It's obvious that Tony Kornheiser, at least from what he says, is not a racist and he's not overly woke, but he's certainly woke, which is good, and that's good. And he doesn't go too far either way with anything. Some of his opinions are dumb. If you give a million opinions, some of them are going to be dumb. Some of my opinions are going to be dumb. Hopefully not too many. And Michael Wilbon comes with a black perspective. And sometimes he says things that I didn't realize were racist or not racist. I think he goes a little far too sometimes, but I'm white. So naturally, I'm going to think that's a little bit, but he doesn't go too far. You know, he's probably right because I'm white. What do I know? There's no way in a million years I can know what like.
He does. What I like about it, he educates. Like I said, being black, a lot of people, like you said, you can't be in my shoes. It's like I can't be in your shoes, but you don't know what blacks have been through. So
no, and that's why I listen to Michael Wilbon.
So he educates whites on what the real deal is, which is good.
And Stephen A. Smith, who at least, you know, stood up for Caitlin A. Clark several times, including that is admitting that he's the only one on ESPN admitting that there's some jealousy and hatred towards Caitlin Clark. Stephen A. Smith claims out racism when it doesn't exist. And I don't like that. I don't like him because it's all about him. He's just a character. He plays a character. Yeah, I find him unwatchable most of the time. But at least he's sometimes more objective than what they used to have, like Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless is the least objective guy I've ever seen in my life. No matter what LeBron James, and you can be a LeBron James, and you probably like the fact that Skip Bayless, no matter what LeBron James did, he always took the extreme negative of what he did. Oh, he's not a great jump shooter. Well, he's actually a pretty good jump shooter. And he is good. And he is that. And he totally underrates him all the time. Because he's a lover of Michael Jordan, and I am too. I think Michael Jordan's the greatest athlete of all time. But that doesn't mean I'm going to underrate LeBron just because I'm afraid that other people might think LeBron's as good as Michael Jordan. If they're going to think that, they're going to think that. That's what I think Skip Bayless is doing. He's like the biggest Michael Jordan fan in the world.
That's the point that you're making. At least if you're going to be in there, it doesn't matter what color you are. Be a little more objective about what you're talking about. Don't be so focusing on. They get,
like Monica McNutt, she keeps defending the WNBA and all the women and all the blacks and everything, and I think she goes too far with it, and I think your viewpoints are wrong. I think she's nuts sometimes, but that's just me.
She handles the analysis for the Knicks games, and she does a good job of that. After,
I'm not saying she always doesn't say good things. I think she's smart. Yeah. I just think she lacks objectivity sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. She sometimes gets a lot. Like you said, we get a lot.
But I want to get to Rebecca Lobo. Okay. So if you're watching the game, I went and replayed it. Originally, I thought she had suggested it should be a flagrant one. I went and watched the play again, and Ryan Rocco, if I'm pronouncing his name right, I'm sorry, I think I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but whatever. Ryan. The play happens, and he says, "Oh, wow, I wonder if they're going to call that a foul. I wonder if that's going to be reviewed," he said. "I wonder if that's going to be upgraded to a flagrant one." I think maybe it should be upgraded to a flagrant. He's going on for like 2 minutes. At the end of the third quarter, she says 0. 0. I thought she had said something. I went back. She said 0. I played the beginning of the fourth quarter. She said 0. He's the play-by-play guy. She's the color analysis. It was her job to say anything, which is one problem. The second problem is she never said it should be upgraded to a flagrant one. Never suggested it. She didn't even say maybe it should be. She said nothing. And the reason I'm saying this is yesterday in an interview, this is what she said. She said that she thought it was obviously a flagrant one. And she said it twice in the interview. And she only said that after the league upgraded it and had 2 days to think about it. So my question is, why didn't she suggest that it's a flagrant one? If it's so obvious, she should have been immediate if it was obvious to her. So she's lying. That's what's pissing me off about this. Why didn't she immediately say it should have been flagrant one? She didn't even suggest it.
No, I watched the game too, and I don't recall her making any statement about that about being flagrant one or anything. I can't believe that.
And other than the fact that she went to Connecticut, I don't think she hates Caitlin Clark. Because she did make some comment that she had to have titles to be considered one of the greatest, which is, I don't agree with that at all. But normally she's very level-headed and she's good analysis. And in fact, that's the type of person I want to see analyze the WNBA game because she played in it and she was a great basketball player. And by the way, I don't know if I have no idea if there's any racial stuff going on involved in this. And I don't think so because she's biracial. She's Cuban and English, if you don't know. Her mother's English, her dad is Cuban. And so I don't think that's it. But why here's the next thing that took place. She said, I honestly don't think the officials saw it clearly, even though it was right in front of their eyes.
Stop right there.
Stop right now. Stop her video right now and go watch that play again, please. The ref is looking right at Caitlin Clark and he's counting 1 because you have to count to 8. His dad got to get over the line. And he's looking right at it and he calls a foul right away. So if he didn't see it, why would he call a foul right away?
Yeah,
why is she protecting the refs? Now I have no idea. Like I said, this ref was black. Caitlin Clark is white. The woman doing the assault is black. But Lobo's not. She's not white. She's not black. She's biracial. So she's not. I don't think it's a racial thing. But why is she protecting the ref? Why is she protecting the WNBA? The ref screwed up.
Yeah,
the ref screwed up right in the spot.
Just her saying it was right in front of her, right in front of him. So if it's right, then you say, "Oh, he didn't see it." That doesn't make sense. So if it's right in front, it's right in front of him, and he didn't see it. So what are you saying?
What is her motivation for lying about the ref seeing it, and then lying about the fact that it was obvious to her that it was a flagrant one? And if she thought it was a flagrant one, why did she hold back and not say anything? Why did the play-by-play guy, who it's not his job to say that, they sometimes do say things, but that's not their job. He should be saying like 25%. She should be saying 75% whether or not that was a flagrant one. And quite honestly, it was a flagrant 2. And especially given the history of this woman, they should have upgraded to a flagrant 2. But even on the court, it should have been flagrant. I thought it should have been flagrant 2 at the court.
Oh, I did too. She should have been thrown out. I was like, why was she?
And several other people said the same thing. So I'm not a minority on that. And please get with the, toughen up type of thing. This is not a basketball play. Stop
or it's part of the game. Well, they say it's part of the game. That is not part of the game. That's a cheap shot. That's not.
I don't listen to haters. Their IQ level is 6. They're not objective. But please, someone tell me why she's lying about the ref not seeing it and lying about the fact that she thought it was obvious a flagrant one. I have no idea. I can't figure it out because, like I said, it doesn't appear to be racial since she's biracial. But why is she protecting the league? Why is she afraid? She's afraid she's going to get fired if she criticizes the black ref or the black player. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. All I know is I'm flabbergasted the fact that she lied twice about this now.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, it's a blatant lie. This is what she said, her statement. I mean, if you're going to be objective, or if you're going to be a play-by-play announcer, you have to color analysis. That's part of your job. Say, "Ooh, wow, that's not a good play."
And if you think she's not protecting the refs or the league, go look at the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese foul. Now, that was clearly a foul, and it was a flagrant 1 foul. And Ryan Rocco at least said, well, it could go either way. Maybe 50-50. And she just goes, maybe 50-50.
I'm like,
50-50 about a foul. It's 50-50 flagrant 1, maybe, but it was a clear foul. Caitlin Clark wasn't doing anything to deserve an elbow and everything. She was just on her back. She wasn't even pushing her. She was just behind her. You know, there's a little bit bumping back and forth, but there was no push by Caitlin Clark. She didn't push her. She didn't hook her. She didn't anything. And Angel Reese knew it was Caitlin Clark, and she went boom. She got away with it. Why? I don't know. It's because a black player got away with it. I have no idea whether she got away with it because she was black. I know that the 2 refs that saw it were both black. The other ref was is white, and she's down at the other end of the court. The 2 refs that had the best view were black. I have no idea. I'm not saying it's racial or not. All I'm saying is, why are they protecting the refs? Why isn't she saying that's a foul? That's a clear foul. Maybe it's a flagrant 1. Why isn't she saying that during the game?
Don't take the oh, well, maybe. And then, even before that, before they said 50-50, they were like going, geez, well, maybe that could have been a foul. Oh, yeah, it could have been. Well, 50-50. And she paused it. Yeah, 50-50.
If you don't see the replay, maybe you don't know what to say, but they saw the replay. It was quite clear what it should have been. And I don't understand. And I don't understand why the league didn't upgrade that to a flagrant 1. I don't understand why they didn't upgrade the one to Carter to flagrant 2. And now they got a situation that they've upset a lot of people. And I understand, you know, how Clarksies are and everything, you know, they get overexcited about, you know, Caitlin doesn't do anything wrong and all that. But that's not the point. You shouldn't do it to protect Caitlin Clark because she gives them a lot of money because she's popular. You should do it because it's the right thing to do. It's a moral thing to do to protect players, to protect the league, to protect the integrity of the league. And I have no idea why they're too stupid that they can't see that. That's what I've read so many millions of comments that agree with me on this, that all say that they're disgusted with the league. They don't want to watch anymore. They missed the opportunity to actually make a statement with the public, with the league, with the players in the league to stop this crap.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. To me, it's a moral thing. If someone's doing something wrong blatantly like that, like I said, if you're walking on the street and all of a sudden you just elbow somebody in the face for no reason because you don't like them, you're going to jail. And then if you go to, like you said, you're a lawyer, you go for the judge. Do you feel any remorse? Nah, I don't feel any remorse. So
now Rebecca Lobo did say something that I liked. She did say that Clark has gotten way more attention and been covered more than any rookie in WA industry, which of course is obvious, but at least she said that.
Yeah.
And she also was very careful how she worded about the jealousy thing. And I'm gonna put this. She was very, very careful. You knew she was being interviewed. She was all prepared. She said, I don't think there is any jealousy or pettiness that is fueling dirty plays. So she was very careful about that. She didn't say there wasn't any jealousy or pettiness because she knows there is, but that is fueling dirty play. So she's semi-protecting the league. I think there is some that is fueling dirty play, but at least she was careful how she worded it.
Right, she worded it very carefully.
She didn't deny there was jealousy or petty. You notice how she did that.
Yeah, she worded it very carefully. Yeah,
but because I think she didn't want to lie a third time.
Right, no, right. I think you're right.
Anyway, so I lost all respect for Teresa Witherspoon. I lost all respect for Rebecca Lobo. Ryan Rocco did a fine job on the first foul. He lost it on the second foul. It was a clear foul. And I don't even think it's him. I think he's a very good announcer, by the way. But he missed the boat on the second one.
But now do you see the outrage for now that they we upgraded to a flagrant foul and then we fined, which is like nothing to Reese, $1,000 to
nothing.
Angel Reese is like nothing, like $1 for her. And so then that's calling out all the how are they doing that? They're doing that because they're both black players. No, they did because they were wrong. You were wrong to do that.
I'm trying to be objective about this. I have no idea. I can't get in people's mind in terms of racism and jealousy and stuff like that. All I know is what I see, and I ask questions and I wonder. And that's all I'm saying. Same thing with ESPN. Maybe the persons that come to get hired that are women and non-whites are all better than the white announcers come in. I don't know. I doubt percentage-wise that's true because there's a lot of white announcers because it's 59% white in this country. So it seems strange to me. That's all I'm saying. I'm just asking questions at this point. But I love Pardon the Interruption. I love Wilbon. I love his analysis and take when it comes to racial thing, and I learn things. And he's a smart guy and all that. And I love the two banter back and forth. They don't talk over each other that much. They're not like fake personalities. Other than that, when I'm forced to watch a program that I have to watch because it's only ESPN, I watch it. Other than that, I don't watch ESPN anymore. And a lot of the people said that the ratings are way down. They lost a lot of contracts with cable companies. And part of it's because they're overly woke. Woke is great, overly woke. And that's just the way it is. They have an agenda.
And Mark, you have some black friends, don't you? Right?
No, I don't have any black friends. I never say that because no matter what, it's misconstrued. So I pretend I don't have any black friends, even though I do. I do. Anyways, okay. I have all sorts of friends. You know, that's all I'll say.
I know I got you flustered. Sorry.
No, I'm afraid to say that. I'm afraid to say that because then they misconstrue it.
Right.
You can't say that. If it,
no, you cannot. That. That's why.
Oh,
that's
you do that. You black friends? No, I just don't say it. You watch me and you'll see I do have black friends. People that know me. That's all. That's all I care about.
That's right.
You know, I was lucky enough to have parents that raised me as colorblind as possible in this society. It doesn't mean I always succeed in that, but I try to be. That's the
way the league and the basketball should be. I mean, they should just stop hitting on that. This is a successful white woman, so I mean, you should be happy with that. And
yeah, I mean, that's the
other
thing. There was that article that said it's important for the black players to be the face of the league. It was by an overly woke white USA columnist.
Yeah, I don't like them either.
And what's so stupid about that is if it's only 63.8% black, it doesn't matter. And the history was similar than that. There's a lot of great white players that have played in the league. Similar to that, the percentage changes obviously because the roster changes every year. Same thing in the NBA and NFL. But what's silly about that is if it's 2/3 black, say, shouldn't the face of the league, you know, by chance and by logic and by talent, be the face of the league 2/3 of the time, and then every once in a while a white player comes along and is the face of the league? So that's the most first, and also it should be because based on ability, not based on a race. That's like the dumbest argument in the world. I mean, she got killed for that article.
Yeah, which is good.
That's just so stupid. That's when that's a woman who's being overly woke. That's what drives people crazy. That's why 80% of the public say you're a nutcase. Okay,
yeah, right.
You're being unfair.
Right. And
you know, if Caitlin Clark becomes the best player in the league, then she should be the face of the league. Okay, she's the face of the league now because she's extremely possible. And that part is unfair. I get that. And she hasn't established herself as the best player in the league. But I think she will in 3 or 4. If they don't kill her first in 3 or 4 years. But it's silly to say that, you know, just because the league is 2/3 black, that a black player has to be the face of the league. Well, no, 2/3 of the time, I hope so. I hope at least 2/3 of the time.
The NBA logo is Jerry West.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's fair, though, to be quite honest. But, but he was a great player, and I don't know.
But then we have people now wanting to change that.
I think they should change it to Michael Jordan, but you know, it's kind of insulting to Jerry West to change it while he's still alive.
Yeah,
to be fair, because Michael Jordan is better than Jerry West, and Michael Jordan is the face of the NBA if you look at all time. Yeah. He is. He's the face of U.S. all-time face of U.S. sports.
You still have with the traditional, you know, going up for the dunk type thing, single, yeah.
Anything. I don't know. I think Michael Jordan, like I said, everybody knows this. He's the greatest NBA player of all time. He's the most exciting NBA player of all time. He's the most exciting athlete I've ever seen. He's the greatest athlete I've ever seen. But guess what? It's hard to like replace the logo of Jerry West when he's still alive.
Yeah, it'd be kind of.
I have no problem if they do that. I really don't. I don't think that would be overly woke to do that because Michael Jordan is the face of the NBA. In fact, I think they should do it. Mm-hmm. So really, I'm taking the black perspective here.
Okay,
that's pretty good, Rob. I'm not black. I'm taking the black.
No, see, that's what happens when you hang around your black friends. See,
and look at the face of the league in the NBA is almost always black. Look at Jokic right now. Jokic is the best player in the league. Luka Doncic looks like he might be the last playoff series. He's playing injured, but let's say he's the best player in the league, and he's not really the face of the league, and he's white.
Right.
So, as a white person, I'm upset about that. Not really. I'm joking.
No,
I'm saying is, but if you think it's really so racial and it's really demanding, you don't see any white people saying, how come Jokic isn't the face of the league and it's racist that it is? I don't hear no white people are saying that.
No, you don't hear that. I don't hear that.
I don't hear anyone saying that. Why? Why is not face of the league? I'm going to tell you why he's not face of the league. He's not American. and he's kind of has a dull personality. He's got a dry sense of humor. Don't get me wrong. He's a nice guy. And he's got he doesn't have an excitement.
He's not that good looking. You know, he's not that good looking.
He's not a handsome guy, and he's not an exciting player. He's a great fundamental player.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he's good fundamental.
And that's why he's the best player. Okay.
Right.
He's got great fundamental. He's a great passer.
But they don't want to push him out in front of the league.
No,
right?
That's because he doesn't care to be the face of the league. He goes
back
to take care of courses in the off season. That's what he does.
That's what I like about him. That's what I like about him. He just goes out there and plays the game. If he's not MVP, he's not worried about that. All he wants to do is win and have fun and play basketball.
Not everything's about race. But Caitlin Clark is making not Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark doesn't care that she's white. Caitlin Clark, she just wants to ball. That's what's so annoying about this, that everybody's hating on her. She's done nothing for this jealousy and hatred other than play ball. It's not her fault. She's so popular.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Why are
you hating on black players?
Yeah, why you? I mean, she's gonna make, like I said, she's gonna make you better. She should be making you work on your game to say when we're gonna play against her, and so you're like, oh, so they think she's good. Well, let me show you. I can do this as good.
Yeah, and who's her idol? Who's her idol? Not Diana Taurasi, not Brianna Stewart. Who? Maya Moore. Last I checked, is black. She doesn't give up race.
Yeah,
she doesn't. So they're picking on her because she's white, and she's not in any way indication that she's a white racist. She seems like a very nice woman who's not perfect, but she's a classy woman in most ways. She does little things on the court. We get that. Just some little trash talk and all that stuff. A little bit of showboat, and we get that. No one's saying she's perfect. I criticize her for that. But overall, she seems like a good, down-to-earth person.
Yeah, and she's gonna get better handling. I mean, like you said, the pressure that's on her is this. I don't know if some people could deal with that pressure. That a young woman can deal with the kind of pressure that she's under right now, but she's trying to deal with it, and then it's going to make her better, and make the league better, and make everybody better. So I mean, stop with the mean girls. Just go out there and play ball.
Mean Girls Part 2, I saw. It's Mean Girls Part 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that's all I want to say. I really, actually, believe it or not, I hate talking about race, and I wish we were all green so I wouldn't have to. But Caitlin Clark has brought out racism in our society both ways, and it's unfortunate, and it's brought topic. I mean, maybe it's important that we talk about it, Rob, because racism still exists in our society.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to bring it up. It's good to bring it up, but it's just sad that we, like I always mention, it's sad that we have to even bring that up when, at least with me, like I said, when I talk about, I was joking with you, but when I talk about my friends, I never put any color with it. If somebody asked me, I would just say my friend. I don't even put in gender. I was out with my friends. I didn't put gender, color. So that's the way it should be.
And right. I'm trying to be as fair as possible. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I think some of the Clarksies who love Caitlin Clark so much, they may love her because she's white, and that's part of the reason they really root and get behind her. I have no problem. That's a little bit of it. I have no problem. But I also think there's some racism by blacks who hate Caitlin Clark because she's playing well in a black sport. And neither of those are right.
Right.
Okay. There's racism going both ways here. And
yeah. I mean, with the Clarkettes, with the Clarkies, it's also just a fad thing. Like you said, it's a social media thing. It could be that. Probably some of them never even seen her play, but just the mention of her name, and they just, some of
the lack of objectivity by black commentators and comments, and they have pictures of themselves in Yahoo and also in YouTube about Clark is unbelievable. How they rate her like about 10 times worse than she is, and why?
And I'm glad you brought that, because I want to bring that point up also. Being a black, you should know how that feels when someone rates you because of the color of your skin. We definitely know about that. Not getting a job, someone closing the door or walking to the other side of the street. You should know that you should be better than that to start saying that, because she's white and that's why they're picking. You should know better than that. We've been picked on because of that reason. Still, that's what racism is, because of our color. So
go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm finished. That's okay.
I mean, the jealousy is understandable from all sports perspective, but the racism is not necessary, and all that is making everything divisive. Politically, we're already divisive enough. Why do we have to make sports divisive racism?
Yeah, leave it alone. Leave the sports alone.
Please, I watch sports so I can get away from politics, because we're so divisive in this country right now. So quit with the underrating, overrating, especially the underrating of Clark because you don't like the fact that she's a white person. And
just enjoy the game. Enjoy that you're watching a great player. Just enjoy that. So don't put.
I get that you think she's overrated, but don't go underrating her by 10 degrees. Okay?
Right.
Okay, and she may be by some people. I'm not even doubting that. I don't think she is by me, but she is maybe by Clarksies.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we'll see. We'll see how she hasn't proven herself in the league yet, but we know what she's been up against, and they got a 5-day rest, and we'll see how she plays Friday night. We'll see how she plays for the rest of the year. We'll see if the WNBA players stop trying to be overly physical with her and hurt her, and we'll see if she gets injured or not. God forbid if she does, she'll take her talents over to Europe and she'll play in the 3-on-3 league and make $5 million for 20 games, 10 weekends.
Yeah, it's like I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this hate. I don't need this hate. I don't need this. I'm gonna play ball someplace else.
I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen. I
don't think it will.
Go down in this. All right. So, anyways, that's our video for today. I'm drained from it, but we're gonna have another video having to do with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese popularity and some different numbers that came up having to do with how they're doing in the league. So, because I don't want to make this video any longer, so we're going to talk about that. Don't forget our live shows every Monday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. You can call in, you can make comments. Please subscribe. We need more subscribers. Our channel is growing fast, but it needs to grow faster. And also, please make some intelligent, non-insulting comments. And if you think I'm off base, fine. If you're black and you think I'm not looking at it from the black perspective enough, fine. Then tell me. Maybe you think it's stronger than Rob thinks it. If you don't, that's fine. Whatever. I'm trying to be objective, and I'm trying to not have anything having to do with racial thoughts or anything like that. I'm just trying to be honest about what I see, and I ask questions about that. That's all.
Which is good. That's what you're supposed to do in life. Ask questions. If you don't know, you ask questions.
So, anyways, that's what's going on, and we appreciate your support. And Rob, you want to do your thing?
Yep. Peace out.
See ya.